Hello.
Hey, Sharon, it's Meg.
Hey, Meg.
Hey, I just want to call because it's probably easier, and um, also it's more private because it's talking about your money, and I don't want anybody to know anything about your money, just for your security. So I have a question for you. Um, do you want any help in terms of kind of figuring out how to spend that, and when and where, and all the things you need to think about of where your money's going to go at first, or do you feel like you have that down?
I've got that down pretty decent. My problem is that I never really have money.
Yeah. Okay, so you don't need, because I was thinking about it yesterday, and I thought, well, you had an awful lot of stuff to do to just to set up your apartment, because you probably don't have furniture, do you? Or do you?
Nope, I don't have anything.
So I was just trying to think about, how to divide up, just so you don't short yourself the first couple months, so that you get plenty of food, and you start, at least get a bed, and all that kind of stuff, and bedding, and all the stuff you need for your kitchen, and so you feel like you've got that down. You don't need any. You don't want me to send you any lists or think about that with you. You got that?
Well, I'm not gonna get a bed. I'm just gonna sleep on the floor.
Well, you're going to have plenty of money. So with back problems, are you sure? I think you should do that.
Well, I've
You,
been sleeping on the floor most of my life.
oh,
It's actually more comfortable than sleeping on a bed.
okay, okay. So, but will you be able to get? Will you get other furniture then, or?
I'll see what I can come up with, but a lot of that is that I can't even carry it.
Yeah. And so I was thinking about that, and I think um, a lot of stuff you can have shipped directly to your door. Like even Walmart has quite a bit of furniture that's not super expensive, but they'll ship it like literally to your door. I
Well,
didn't know.
for the time being, until they send me something, I literally have nothing in my refrigerator.
Right, right. I know, and I know you got to totally stock your whole kitchen. But I was just thinking about you'll have, I don't know, what is it, close to $3,000. Um, and so I know it's going to take quite a bit of money to fill your cupboards and fill your fridge and get some basic dishes, and um, but I think
Well,
uh,
everything that I need is dependent on me getting something else that I need something else that I need in order to get.
right.
So it's just a
I know
big
it's man.
ginormous pain. In order to get a ride to Sydney, I got to find somebody who's not all paranoid about the coronavirus, and that's the
Yeah.
closest place I can do any shopping.
Okay,
Um,
that's the other thing I was getting. So you don't have a grocery store in town?
we do. It's Chapel Superfoods, but there's a lot of stuff that I'm gonna need that I can't get there.
Yeah. Yeah.
They're most of their stuff, like ever since I first moved here, most of their stuff on the shelves is known for being out of date.
Oh. Okay.
But that's not the major issue. I gotta try to keep my mind busy, which means that I have to. Well, first of all, I need internet access. That's extremely
Right.
important, and I'm not gonna have that. Um,
So that was a question I had. Who's your internet provider in town? Do you know?
I'm not sure. I think it's Comcast.
Because now the way I don't know what it's like there, but we can call. You're going to have you know $2,000-3,000 a month for several months, and so
They don't send that every month. They send that every 3 or 6 months. I can't remember what their payment schedule is.
I'll ask. I think that might not be right, but my other worry is how when they expect you to spend it down, and so I thought if there's an expectation that you spend down that money, let's say that they send you more or they send it faster, then I wanted to help prepare you, like to kind of make some strong list of what you need and what it might cost, so that if you do have to spend it down, it makes sense. You know what I mean?
I need a vehicle and I need a workshop.
Okay. But
There's stuff that I'm able to do. A lot of my special interests are stuff that helps me and will also help others, and being able to do that stuff helps me out. But in my adult life, I've basically just acquired tools for people to end up stealing them from me.
yeah, and that's another worry, because I know you told me that before. So when I think about, just having you be most secure in
I need my own
your
property to do that. That's the most important, and that's not looking like it's going to be a happening thing. The house that I'm in now, I was literally going to buy it before Natalie was killed. I mean, this place would have been mine free and clear, but
yeah,
Natalie getting killed changed all that.
yeah, yeah. I'm yeah, and I don't yeah. I guess my thought was, how can where you are be as good as it can possibly be for the time being, um, so that you, like you said, you have time for your special interests, and that you have a comfortable place to live that you can control. At least, you can control that there's no TV, there's no trigger stuff, there's none of that.
Yep, I can do that. A
And
lot
then,
of it also is that, like, I don't. The issue that I was having before Natalie died was that the rumors that they started got out of hand, and I couldn't see any of my loved ones, and that's still an issue.
yeah, yeah. I guess when I think of it, and I might be wrong, I might be totally wrong, but when I think of it, I think of how can you how can you focus on your court stuff that you have to focus on, so that you can clear up the Colorado thing over time. And to me, getting your basic needs met has to happen in order for you to be able to think and plan and do, to keep moving forward. And so, to me, having your money secure so nobody can take it, having your food and your shelter covered so nobody can take it, and having a peaceful, quiet place where you can do that work. Um, so I know it's not the end goal. I know you want to get back into Colorado and you want to get that court stuff done. And I know I'm not,
Well, for my own safety, I'll have to do all of that court stuff from here. I can't go to Colorado without being assaulted by police or
right.
being taken to the same jails where I was assaulted by the guards. That's part of what happens when they charge you with assault against a police officer.
Yeah.
Even though they dropped the charges against me, the fact is it's still on my arrest record and I still have to deal with it.
Yeah. So, so you're saying, I guess I'm coming back to, is there a way that we could talk through, like, just uh, how to procure the stuff you need without, like, that we can get shipped to your door, um, to start getting some of those basic things done, so that you can move on to the more important stuff and to your special interest stuff.
Well, a lot of that's going to come down to going and getting a prepaid card, and I'll have to do pretty much everything that way because I don't have an ID.
Right. So the EID's coming. I think I've got that figured out. One thing I was thinking about for food is, now that the whole COVID thing is nuts, um, Walmart will ship food to you, to your door. You can't get cold food that way, but you can get all your dry food that way.
I'm 30 miles away from the nearest Walmart.
I know they'll ship it to your door. They'll mail it. They'll like UPS will bring it to your door. And so I can help you set up an account on Walmart.com, and you could get at least all your dry foods that way.
Well,
Would you
I'm
like that?
overwhelmed with the sheer amount of all of this. I mean, in addition to all of this stuff with the courts and then setting up something with Walmart, that's the thing with not having somebody here is that I
Well,
really
I
need
can do
someone
that
to
with
show
you
me.
from here, though. I guess that's what I initially was trying to tell you is I would be willing to still help get you that stuff, help set it up, manage it for you, and get the stuff to you so that you can fill your cupboards faster. And so that I guess that's I probably didn't explain that right in the beginning, but I can do that part with you from here until you get your ID, and I guess that's what I was trying to say. Sorry.
There's a guy here with a horse trailer. I might try to turn it into a mobile home, basically.
Okay. So if we could we just start at like step one? Um, like when you, I guess one of the things you mentioned to me until you can get a car is that guy that you live with. If you could help him with his insurance, he might be able to drive you.
Yep.
Is there a way for you to find out what that insurance would cost?
Um, yeah, I could just ask him.
Because that would help us. Do you mind me helping you with this, figuring this money stuff out, or would you rather I don't?
I don't mind the help. The thing is, I don't have any money at all to work with
Oh no, I'm
yet,
talking about
so
the money you're going to get in 2 weeks. I know it still sucks that it's 2 weeks. I'm talking about that. I'm not. I know you don't have any money today, but I'm thinking if I can get this stuff lined up now, then when you do get the money, we're not talking about it for 2 more weeks trying to figure out how to get it done. We can be just ready to go the second you get that money, rather than wait until you get it and then start talking about it. You
you
know what I
see,
mean?
that's the thing. All this stuff, it hasn't been dependent on me not able to manage my money. It's been a matter of simply not having it. And
Right,
a lot of
right,
the
right.
situations that I've been in, it's been because of the desperation of not having that money that I have to depend on people that end up ripping me off.
Right,
I want somebody to be informed about what's going on. That way, if I do get ripped off, there's something that can be done about it. But at the same time, like when Natalie was killed, that basically made me a target for everyone. It made me a
right,
target for the police. It made me a target for the public. It made me a target for our mutual friends. I mean, it just destroyed my life.
right,
As far as the money goes, like I can manage my own money. I just can't manage it if I don't have it.
right. I know. I'm not, and I hope you don't think I'm trying to insult you because
Oh,
I'm
you're
not
good.
saying I'm not saying you can't manage your money. I'm just saying you're still in a very um, I don't know,
I'm in a
precarious.
desperate situation.
Right, and so Social Security is going to be watching and being like, "What's he, like, how's he going to do this?" And I'm thinking of things like, how can we make sure that that unit is secure so that if shit hits the fan, you're not going to lose it, or you're not going to have that. You're not going to end up ever having what happened happen again. I guess that's my point.
Well,
And
I'm
so,
at risk of what happened happening again here in the courts. The police here in Chapel, Nebraska are some of the police that I had an issue with both before and after Natalie was killed, and I have to go into court about a situation with someone else who was offering to help but ended up just not keeping her word. She was actually working together with the police in Colorado, and it just ended up being a big giant pain in the butt.
well, so my thought is, like, one of the things I thought about like, pay an extra month on your unit when you get the money. I'm not saying today. Just some things that'll protect you more than you were protected before. Because before, and I just want to get. I guess my concern for you is that we just secure this stuff as best we can so that none of that, so that you don't lose it, so that
Well,
you don't.
here's the problem, though. I didn't lose everything because of anything that I did. I lost
No, no.
everything because of what law enforcement did. And no matter how much protection we try to put in place for that, the fact is that they've already done so much in the last 2 years that I have zero chance at having a decent life. There is nothing that can be done to protect somebody against abuse of power like that. Absolutely nothing.
Well,
If they
I don't.
decide, well, that's not true. If I'd have had somebody in my corner who understood, who was, there in person to work with this stuff with me, but no, everybody had the assumption that I should magically be able to do all of these things without internet, without a roof over my head, without an income. I should be able to magically do all of this stuff. I haven't had an income. I haven't had the ability to. Between when Natalie died and August of 2018, there was like 7 months there where literally every penny of my disability money was going to court dates and going to see police officers and going to see public pretenders, and they just kept on stretching it out and stretching it out. I literally cannot take care of myself without that. And
Right.
that's the thing, is that not only did they fully understand that, they exploited it to the best of their abilities.
Yeah. Well, I understand that. What I'm saying to you isn't because I think you wasted it or I think you mismanaged it. That's not why I'm saying that, because I don't think that's the case. And so I'm not saying, hey, I'll help you out because clearly you can't manage your money. That's not at all what I'm saying. I
You want to
understand you.
help to keep it safe.
Right. And that it's like that your unit wouldn't go away because you couldn't make the mortgage payment or that rent payment that month because you were, I don't know,
In
because something
jail,
happened. Yeah, like
that's
what
my
if
big
you?
concern right now. I'm concerned that if I go to jail with all of the evidence in my apartment, that they'll take away my apartment and take away my disability money again.
Okay, so what I've learned is, and that's something I've been worried about too. Is like, what if you went to jail? Okay, then how was the unit going to be secure, and the contents of it be secure? And now I know that the second you get out of jail, and I hope you never go again, but if you did, the second you get out, all I need is that paper saying you were discharged, and your disability money literally will start the next month. The fact that you went a year, I know, is because you didn't have anybody helping you, and because you couldn't get those papers, and it was just a mess. I get that. Now I know, having been through this whole process with you, that we can literally get that back the next month. But what I want to
Well,
make sure
the
is if. Oh, go ahead.
the problem that I had with that is that I kept on moving. Everywhere that I went after I got out of jail from there was, I mean, I had to stay with drug addicts and alcoholics and drug dealers and stuff like that. And really, through all of this, I should have been able to go to the police with it. I should have
Right,
been able to go, before Natalie died, I should have been able to go to Natalie and have a conversation with her and a police officer as adults, instead of having her boyfriends and ex-boyfriends and family members and all of them harassing me and threatening my life and threatening to kill my family. And this is all
right,
stuff that something should have been done about.
right,
And the thing that I'm dealing with now is that they made sure that I didn't have the resources to do those things, and then they claimed that I wasn't trying in court. And the thing is that I have ample proof that I have been trying all this time. It's this constant moving around and having to deal with alcoholics that's the biggest pain.
right. And so when I thought about that, I was thinking about, okay, so let's, like, I was trying to think of the worst case scenario in my head of how to protect your unit and your money so that that didn't happen again. And so I was thinking, okay, what if we talked to Cindy, not about the jail thing? I'm not saying that, but what if you paid 1 month ahead, the 200 or whatever dollars ahead, so that if you were not able to pay it or be there, your unit would be paid and it would be secure. You wouldn't lose it. You know what I mean?
Yes, ma'am. Well, they have a 2 month thing on that too. So
Okay. So it's things like that that I'm thinking about is how do we, like I said, if shit hits the fan and something happens, at least how do we secure your money? That's why I'm so bent on getting you a bank account as soon as possible and getting that ID as soon as possible. And and so I think I figured that out. We're still, it's just those things are the things that I want to have done. And I think the coronavirus is actually probably going to delay your court, which is a good thing. So
well,
I
they
don't,
haven't changed it yet. It still says the 16th.
it still says that, but based on what I'm seeing in the news, I mean, what do I know? I don't know anything about that whole system, but I don't know that they're going to do anything for a month or two. And so my thought was, that's when I started thinking, okay, these first 2 months of money and the way you spend them have to be so strategic to protect you that's why I wanted to help. Not because you're not smart enough to manage your money, I know you are, but there's just so many components that I wanted to offer to kind of lay that out so that you're the most secure you can be. I guess that's what I was trying to say.
Yes, ma'am. I'm totally down with that.
Okay.
The first things that I'm gonna be working on, I do need that driver's license, and I need a vehicle. That's extremely important. That was a difficult thing to manage without an income. I was up at my dad's trying to work on that. He was busy screaming at me, so it was not very effective.
So
Um,
can I ask you some questions?
yeah,
Okay, so let's say you can find a vehicle. Um, I want to make sure, at least that you've thought about it, maybe you have, is um, making sure you have plenty of food, and you probably haven't been able to buy clothes forever, and just to kind of set yourself up so that you're ready for winter and you're ready for, you need shoes and, those kinds of things.
yes, ma'am. Well, having a vehicle will allow me to travel to places to be able to do a lot of that.
Okay.
Anything on the internet, I mean, if somebody shows me how to do it and how to use it and all that, then I'm able to. But without somebody in person showing me, I don't have a visual reference, and I basically just fumble through it. And then the next time I need to do it, I have to start over from scratch.
So so until you get the vehicle, um, I guess can you find out, like, if so we can map this out, like how much your insurance would cost roughly, because you'll have to license it, you'll have to get plates on it, you'll have to.
Wear and tear, yeah, it'll be a lot more than I have. That's where the whole issue of not having any money to work with is that it
Yeah,
until it's here, I don't know what to prioritize it on. There's stuff that's time sensitive that I'm waiting on. That if it's less time sensitive by the time I get my money in, then I'll have to rearrange it based on that.
exactly. And so, but I guess my thing is, I don't want you to feel like I'm forcing opinions on you or telling you what to do, because I'm not. To me, this is complicated, and I'm not you, and I'm not there, and I don't have all the things you have. And to me, I'm even like, wow, this, to figure out exactly how to use every dime wisely to make sure that you're secure and get you closer to your goal is complicated. And so that's why I thought, you know, it's
Yeah,
probably what I'm talking about.
it's really not a lot of money when you think about all the things that are necessary. I mean, Chapel,
That,
Nebraska, this is a town of like 500 people,
yeah,
and I can't go to Colorado, which is just south of the border, and the closest
right,
place to really do anything is Sydney, which is 30 miles away.
right,
So, like, everything is dependent upon transportation, and
Yeah.
You know, riding the handy bus, that's fine and all, but I'm gonna need to be able
Yeah.
to take my groceries onto it and take it off, and
Yep.
I mean
Yep.
it's a bunch of stuff that I have to worry about that most
Yep.
people, when they think about my situation, they don't even take those things into account.
Yeah. When we talk about autism just in general, across the board, and just people I've talked to over the years, and adults on the spectrum that I've talked to over the years, the number one, other than money, for everybody, even for people that haven't been through the situation you have, is transportation. And for a lot of them, it's because they have never driven and they can't drive. And they're highly intelligent, very capable people, but driving is just not a thing for them. And so I totally understand that. The transportation is a huge, huge issue. Um, it's huge.
For me,
Well,
with everything that I've gone through, having to drive by myself leaves me too much time in my own head.
yeah,
I get too much of that, and like that's the thing with a lot of these people that are dealing with the whole coronavirus thing. They're going completely stir crazy after 2 or 3 weeks of being shut in or whatever. And I'm like, see, you're starting to understand what it's like for us. How frustrating it is for us because we don't have those people. We
right,
don't. For us, that 3 weeks is most of our lives if we don't have family that cares.
right,
You know, and
yeah,
that's a lot of what my mental problems are from. Is that I was I had a decent social life. I had decent friends, and even though most of them were homeless, at least they're people who understood. But then after I left Virginia in 2016, like I couldn't go back and see my friends, and they kept on saying that they'd help me, but then they're so busy giving me advice that they don't even know what's going on.
right,
And like the more frustrated I got, and obviously I'm gonna get frustrated at that. The more frustrated I got, the more jerks they were, and I'm trying not to be a jerk to them. I'm trying to explain to them that I'm overwhelmed. I need actual help. Telling me I gotta love myself is not help.
right,
Telling me I gotta love myself doesn't help me with my finances. It doesn't help me with my social situation. And just
right,
because I'm autistic doesn't mean that I don't still want to have a social life.
yep,
And there's the part where, yeah, I don't like people touching me, but at the same time, like if it depends on the touch. Like
right,
if somebody asks for a hug, that's okay. If somebody, like what cops do a lot of times, is they just keep putting their hand on me, just keep putting their hand on me. They don't ask, they just keep touching me, and yeah, that
yeah,
pisses me off.
yeah, yeah. And so yeah, I understand what you're saying.
When the money comes in, then I'll know how much is there and how to work on that. One of the things I'm trying to figure out is the stimulus thing.
Yeah, I think, and from what I know, like my son won't get it because of the way the tax situation is, but I think you would get it. Um, I don't know. That's something we should ask SSI, if they know about it. Um, so I guess I think we're on the same page in terms of how to prioritize what's there. I just want to make sure that your unit is secure and get you food as soon as possible. And so, is there a way, at least initially, I don't know how fast your friend can get insurance. To me, it sounds like that's probably your fastest way to be able to be mobile, is to help him with his insurance. But I don't know if you've thought of something different.
Just waiting on that money to come in. I mean, whether I give him money to get his vehicle insured or get my own vehicle, it's all stuff that depends on the money and
Yeah,
depends on the situation.
I I don't know if you would be able to get your own vehicle the first month though. You know,
Yeah, that's definitely something I'm worried about too. I do know that before they gave me back payments, but the back payments they gave me, it was every 3 months or every 6 months, and they would only give me 3 months at a time.
So I know you're looking forward. You're looking several steps ahead of where I am, and so I I get the. I'm just trying to figure out how to get you food before the vehicle. Um, and so to me, the fastest way to do that is either pay somebody to take you there, or I help you with one big online order that they ship to your house for the dry stuff anyway, the heavy stuff,
Well,
cans, dry
as
foods.
as soon as I have the money, I'll be able to spend some of it down here at Chapel Superfoods just to get basics, and then I'll be able to get a ride. Um, the thing
Okay, so
is
you
that
don't.
all of this is dependent on having the money. Every bit of issues that
Right,
I've had has been about not having the money.
right.
So if I
But
have the money, I'm able to do a lot of that. As far as ordering stuff online, I, I mean, I'm okay with that. But the other thing is, I really need to make a store trip in person.
okay,
Um, a
and
lot
I
of times, like once I start shopping and I get my basics, I pretty much shop for the same things every time, so it's not difficult.
okay,
Usually it's milk, flour, eggs, stuff like that. I mean, I don't really. I like to cook.
you do.
I do.
So I think you should try. I guess are you? I think you should get a basic set of pots and pans and stuff that first trip too, if you can. Would
Yes,
you do
ma'am.
that?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So you would get cookware, and I just don't. I my worry was is that you'd be so focused on the court thing that you wouldn't be able to get your house set up because just being able to live and cook and eat is going to make you able to focus on other stuff.
Yes, ma'am. Also, everything. There's stuff that I can get help with, and there's stuff that I can't. As far as having internet access, I'm probably not going to get help with that. But if I need food, I mean, there's always ways of getting food. I can go out and kill rabbits for dinner if I need to.
Yeah.
I have a slingshot. Well, I have uh, the rubber to make a slingshot, and I'm pretty good with a slingshot, so I can get dinner if I have to.
Yeah. So I don't know. I think you might have enough money for internet if you. I don't know. Maybe not. Do you have unlimited on your phone? Unlimited internet?
No, ma'am.
Okay. Do you might be able to get internet in your apartment? I don't know.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to. They said that they took it out because nobody was using it, and I actually had two of my neighbors say that they used it, and they don't have the money to afford that, so they don't have it. So
Yeah, we can look into that. Okay. Well, I'm trying to figure out today how much the ID is going to cost, and then I think I've got like $60 left of that grant. So I'll send the $8 for the thing, and then like whatever is left after the ID, I can send. Um, I don't know, it might be like $20 or something. I can send for food
yes,
until your
ma'am.
thing comes. Um,
The keys for the mailbox is what the $8 is for.
okay. And will they
And
let you have your mail until you have the keys, or is your mail trapped?
I can get my mail. They still hand it to me.
Okay.
I I go in there every day. Cindy said to go in every day, so I go in every day.
Okay. 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 Well, we'll figure out. Hopefully, I'll talk to Social Security on Monday or Tuesday. I don't know if she works on Monday, and then see if that overpayment's going to come every month or if it's going to come every 3. So at least you can start to plan and kind of know what's going to happen.
Yes, ma'am. I got 3 things from the Social Security Administration today.
Oh, is it to the general mail or is it to
Let me
the
see.
address?
I got them right in front of me. It says general delivery, and this one says general delivery, and this one says general delivery.
Crap.
And they all say different things about how I'm getting paid. One of them says that I'm getting paid direct deposit, and one of them says that they're going to send me a check.
What?
Yeah.
Okay, so the and what does the third one say?
Let's see. I don't know. I'll have to read it. This one here says beginning May 2020, the current supplemental security income payment is $783. Let's see. Sorry, I have to skim it to try to find the parts that say
okay.
that. Yeah, I guess that was the third one because it doesn't actually say anything about how I'm supposed to get paid. The other 2, one of them is pretty thick. Let's see. Because you have requested direct deposit of your supplemental security income benefits, your checks will be deposited directly in the bank or other financial institution you've selected. Even though you have direct deposit, any move or change of address still must be promptly reported to the local Social Security office as it may affect your check.
The direct deposit is probably um, that card,
Yes, ma'am.
and that you have that card and it's ready, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so it doesn't say anything about overpayment.
It does. There's 3 of them here, though. And they all say something different because this is the third one, and it talks about how they're going to be sending it to me in check. It says you will receive your monthly payment of $783 around May 1st, 2020, and on the first of each month after that. The following chart shows your previous amounts and the correct amounts for the months that change. It's a lot of reading for being on the phone.
Yeah, I understand. Probably toward the end of it, those are usually like 20, 25 pages. I've read those for my son, and so probably toward the end it'll tell you the total amount of overpayment that's due you, but so when you have time, look at the
It doesn't
end.
say that on any of them.
Okay.
It doesn't.
Okay.
It tells me that it's $750 a month for the remainder of 2018, and then $771 or something like that per month for 2019, and then for 2020 it is $783 per month. Oh, here it is, $750 per month for 2018. $771 for 2019 and $783 per month for 2020.
Okay. And so you
Information
should have
about your
gotten it.
back payments. We will send you another letter about your back payments.
Okay. Okay. My question for her is going to be because is if they expect you to spend that down right away, because typically, which I think is terrible, they don't allow anybody with a disability to have more than $2,000 at any time.
They don't.
So
You're right.
the only other way is they finally passed a law last year or 2 years ago where you can have an Enable account, but you have to be able to get to a First National Bank, which probably, I don't know if there's one in Sydney or not.
There is.
Or you might be able to do it online where you can actually save money and it doesn't count against your benefits. So that's another thing I need to look into to see if you do end up having any extra you want to put aside toward a car, that then it won't count against your benefits.
Well, when I got my very first back payment, um, before it was right before Natalie was killed. It was just a couple months before that,
Okay.
and I used it on the list that I had of things that I should spend it on. Like I bought a 3D thing that's supposed to help with sensory issues, and basically I bought the stuff that was on that list, and the things that were on that list. A couple of the more expensive ones didn't work, and the people I was staying with were supposed to take that back for me and bring me my money back. Instead, they ended up spending that money. They also spent the money that was supposed to go for my monthly supplies. They spent that money. They basically just did everything they could to try to get free stuff out of me. And that's the thing is, I was living in a frozen garage during the winter. That's where I was staying, and I was paying $275 a month to stay there.
Yeah.
And I was also paying for the place up here in Chapel at the time. I was basically homeless because I mean I needed to be able to go see my friends, but I also had to be a safe distance away from where my friends were so that I didn't get harassed, threatened, or assaulted more.
Right.
And here in Chapel there really isn't anything for me.
Right. So that's the big question I'm going to ask this week is because if you do have to spend, I want to make sure that it's spent in a way that is secure and that it means something. You don't need to. I mean, if they can't, if you don't have furniture, if you don't have a vehicle, if you don't have food, then to me those things spent will then you'll own it. It's yours, and so I want to make sure that if you do have to spend it quickly, and to me that's just stressful to tell somebody on the spectrum. I don't care how smart you are or what IQ you have. I don't for anybody to tell somebody, hey, here's $5,000, now spend it fast, and then expect people to make all the right decisions in that moment under stress.
Yep. But it's not 5,000, but still, even if it was, it's
Three,
even
or
$5,000 isn't that much.
no, and where you have to replace everything, it's not gonna. That's the other thing. It's not gonna take long to spend it because you're starting from scratch. So I just, I guess I've already said this too many times. That's just what worries me. It's just that it's secure that you're. So, I'll stop talking.
You're good.
Okay, so
Yeah, everything that could be planned has been planned. A lot of the stuff is just waiting on it to come through, and that's like hopefully once it comes through, I'll be able to get the ID. I'll be able to get my mailbox, which I need for my ID. You know,
right,
I need that money in order to get the keys to get the mailbox, so that I can have that happen.
right,
Like the only stuff that's at my apartment right now is my dirty clothes and some paperwork, and that's about it.
Yeah. And so you guys have, well, I guess you can find some place. So you're going to find furniture somehow.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
If need be, I can make it. I'll just
Yeah.
stack up some pizza boxes.
So I think you, yeah. Okay. Well, I will keep doing these things, and I'm glad you're at least away from the TV stuff. I know it's not great yet, but
Yes, ma'am. Well, it's a start. Right now I'm actually back over at his place. I'm gathering up some of my stuff, and I was trying to figure out how to apply for that stimulus thing, that $1,200. That's all. I've
I
gone to
think it's,
probably about 20 different sites this morning. It seems like it's all a whole bunch of advertisements for H&R Block and places like that.
oh, I can look at that for you. You want me to look at that?
If you could, I mean, for me, it's not that I can't make heads or tails of it. It's that each of
Sure.
these sites are telling me something different.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, I can look at that.
all right,
Um, I just don't want them to tell you you have to spend it all and then. Okay, I'll look at that and then I'll let you know.
yes, ma'am. Thank you.
You bet. I'll talk to you soon.
Be safe.
You too. Bye.
Bye. Big giant pain in the butt. Really need to win the lottery or something. I mean, this cost me everything. It cost me my mental health. It cost me my physical health. I find it real hard to trust people. And this lady seems to not be completely stupid, which is nice. The thing is, they make it too complicated. And then you're supposed to magically know all of the ins and outs. But you don't magically know. You have to look that shit up, and that takes time. And then you got all sorts of misinformation on the internet, and that makes it even more of a pain. Somebody just sent me a message. It says Sean Schwartz, Border Police Department, Auravirus, a diseased group of sickos. Yeah, they are. Police across the United States took part in the threats, harassment, and abuse that I endured. Across the United States. This country sucks. Now, there are two things to be said here. Number one, what other country is going to send somebody $1,200 over a disease, right? But then again, what other country is going to put so many preventative measures and expensive measures to prevent poor people from being able to take care of themselves? Like a lot of people want to complain that, you don't live in a third world country. No, but we still live third world. It's illegal to live as if we're in a third world country. And it's also illegal to be third world. It's illegal to be financially third world. So they want money. When they find out that you're broke, they want money. They want money for you being homeless. They want you to pay them because you have to use the bathroom. They want you to pay them because you used the blanket when you went to sleep. They want to get paid for victimizing you for being impoverished. What other country do they do that in? Great Britain. They do that in Great Britain. Fine you for being broke. What other country? I've heard that France does the same thing. These are supposed to be the greatest countries on earth for some odd reason. Oh, yeah, for victimizing their own civilian populace and then blaming it all on China. It's all China's fault. It's all Russia's fault. You say, don't blame others, and then you go and blame others. It's just stupid.